Greetings, gamers. Hoser here for Host House Rules. Welcome back. In honor of the 206th anniversary of Waterloo, June 18th just passed. We're doing Waterloo. Yeah, and that's set up in a 3x4 table. So I'm just going to quickly introduce the unit's location over here on the French left. We have... I've incorporated all the cavalry from the cavalry corps into the infantry corps. So there are no cavalry corps represented. It's all been distributed to the infantry corps, both for the British and for the French. So on the French left, we have 6th Corps Le Beau with 4 infantry units and 1 cuirassier unit and 1 elite cuirassier unit and 1 light cavalry unit, veteran light cavalry unit. So I've also averaged out the corps. The English corps are 25,000 men. They had 2 of 30, 1 of 18. And I've averaged out the French corps also. Comes out to 128 men for the French, 75,000 for the British. For the battle, Wellington only had 71,000, so that's good. Napoleon had 126,000, so that's good. Continuing with the setup on Waterloo, we have second Corps Riel, again with 1 elite infantry, 3 veteran infantry, 1 veteran light cavalry, and 1 elite cuirassier. And here is Riel. And behind him is Ney. And in front of him is the Grand Battery. Now, the vast majority of the guns used in Waterloo were 6-pounders by the French, and over half of them, so exactly half of them in this case, are Guard horse artillery. So these 3 units are Guard artillery. This is the 6th Corps artillery, this is the 2nd Corps artillery, and this is the 1st Corps artillery. And this is Guyot, this is St. Maurice in charge of the Guard artillery, and he can also command any French artillery that he wants. And on the French right, we have 1st Corps d'Erlon. All 4 of the infantry units are elite. Here's d'Erlon with a elite cuirassier and a veteran light cavalry. Behind him is Napoleon, and behind that is the Guard. We have Mortier with 12,000. That's 3 stands of French Old Guard or Guard. Yes, 1 stand of 1,000 of 4 figures is 4,000 men. So each stand is a whole division, or possibly a very, very large brigade. So here's the Guard infantry with Mortier, and here's the Guard cavalry with Guyot. 1 heavy cavalry, again that's 2,000 cavalry for 1 stand, and 2 light cavalry, Guard light cavalry, mostly would be lancers plus some chasseurs. Mortier was actually absent from Waterloo due to being ill, but his name is so cool, I put him back in. It doesn't make any difference. He's still +1 general, but I'm fairly sure his name means something like I am death and you will all perish. So that is the French setup for Waterloo, and again it's a huge scale, so very few figures in a very small area. And we're going to stop and take a look at the British setup. All right, let's look at the English setup. On the English left, we have Plancenoit. Now the terrain may be totally off, but good enough for the game. This is Plancenoit with 1 of the units from 1st Corps and a British veteran unit in it. Over on the British left, on the hills, the entire British Army is on a ridge line or a hill. We have 1st Corps with Hill. First Corps with Prince of Orange. He has 1 elite division, 2 veteran British divisions, one veteran Allied, like it could be Netherlands, could be Brunswickers, could be all the Allies that fought with the British. The British Army was only about half British, the Anglo-Allied Army, and one unit of militia infantry, and one unit of veteran artillery, and one unit of heavy, elite, heavy English heavy dragoons, heavy cavalry, and one unit of Allied light cavalry. Okay, moving towards the center, we have Picton. He has one elite unit, one British veteran unit, two Allied veteran units, an Allied militia unit, and he has a veteran artillery unit. He also has a second artillery unit, which is horse artillery, because if you put all the artillery from the British, the Anglo-Allied Cavalry Corps, which had almost 16,000 men, that qualifies as an extra battery. Each battery, again, is 40 guns. So he has two batteries, and right behind Picton is Wellington. Here's Picton's cavalry, an Allied light cavalry, and an elite British light cavalry. Most of the British cavalry were light, just one unit of heavies for this army. And moving to the British right, we have 2nd Corps with Hill. Again, a unit of elite, 2 units of veteran line, 1 unit of militia infantry. This would be Hill. He has a unit of artillery, and he has, again, Allied veteran light cavalry and British elite light cavalry, and one of his 5 infantry units is in Hougoumont. This is Hougoumont on the extreme British right, and that is basically the British setup, the Anglo-Allied setup. And now we're going to show you something completely different. All right, so moving east of Plancenoit, we have a forest, and then we have the battle that's going on at Waverloo. So now this is not scale correct, because Waverloo would be far to the east of Waterloo, but it works out correctly in the number of turns it takes to get from this area to Waterloo. So on the French side at Waverloo, we have, let's start on the right, 3rd Corps with Van Damme, 4 infantry units, 1 artillery unit, and third Corps, and then 4th Corps with Girard, again 4 infantry units, 1 artillery unit. They each have a cuirassier, an elite cuirassier, and veteran light cavalry. Here's Van Damme's. So here's Van Damme, here's Girard, and here's Grouchy, who is leading the whole right column, right wing. And Grouchy is going to make the most important die roll of the game at 12 o'clock. He is going to roll to see if he still thinks he's facing the entire Prussian army and not attack, or if he's going to figure out that it's only 1st Corps, crush them, and then move to intercept the Russians. Will Grouchy march to the sound of the guns? We will not know until noon. Facing Grouchy, he thinks is the entire Prussian army, but it's only 1st Corps, von Zieten. So von Zieten has 6 infantry units. The Prussian corps averaged out to 30,000 men, so that's 6 infantry units, half of them landwehr, half of them militia, the other half veteran. They had tons of guns, so just 1st Corps has 2 gun units. They all have 2 gun units. And 2 militia light cavalry. Here is von Zieten, and behind von Zieten is Blücher. The Allies have decided to place Blücher with 1st Corps and not with the advancing column to the north. And to the north, past Waverloo, towards this corner of the map, we have arriving after 1 p.m. this horde of Prussians. 3 more Prussian corps. Second corps is Perch. Third corps is von Thielmann. And fourth corps is von Bülow. And will they make it to Waterloo? Or will they be intercepted by Grouchy? We will find out afternoon. Until then, keep gaming and let's take